It's the right event at the right time. It's time for the north of England to get together and resolve to make sure our voice gets heard on the national stage. Politics in this country has let down the north and we shouldn't put up with it anymore. And the more we come together like this, the stronger we will be. So that's why I'm here today. I don't want anyone to think that Manchester sees itself as the London of the north, that we suit ourselves. I want to work with places across the Pennines, working together so that we can all take the north forward together. Well, it's a good phrase, isn't it? But the danger with it is it just becomes a slogan, like the big society. It sounds good, and then what is behind it? And I think the Northern Powerhouse has been in danger of that, because in recent times the government has gone cold a bit on it, and we haven't necessarily seen the agreeing of other devolution deals and the commitment building. However, the new Northern Powerhouse Minister seems to be very committed to the role. So we now need to put meaning behind it, but we don't need to accept what the government wants the Northern Powerhouse to be. We've got to shape what it should be, and that's why this People's Powerhouse event is really, really important. It's about the North saying, right, this is what we want, this is what we want to build, and then going to government and saying, here's our request of you. If the Northern Powerhouse is all about politicians like me in a suit talking about trains and building shiny buildings and not really getting to the heart of what the people of the North want, then it won't succeed. I think we're living through a crisis in politics in this country. It was brought out into the open by the referendum result. There are many places, many of them in the North, that feel the system that we've got doesn't work for them, doesn't listen to their voice. So we've got to do something about that. So devolution is the chance to change things. And in my view, if we're to build a People's Powerhouse, it's got to be based on 4 cornerstones, that house. Number 1, balanced representation from all of our communities. It's not politically correct to say that we should have equal representation of men and women from all parts of our communities, because otherwise you get people making decisions that are right for them but not for the whole community. Balanced representation, number 1. Number 2, don't just build a powerhouse for politicians to pontificate in, let the people in. So give a voice to those who currently don't have one in politics, young people, disabled people, parents of children with autism, all of these groups that kind of feel frustrated shouting at politics from the outside, bring them in. And that brings me into my 3rd principle. Once they're in, give them a real job to do. Don't just pat them on the head and pay lip service to them. Let them shape the policies. Trust them to know what's right for themselves and for their communities. And then number 4, have a recognition that you build strong places, not just by creating new buildings, but actually by regenerating people and putting that at the heart of our thinking when it comes to regeneration. About places, good places to live, rather than always chasing new development that the public don't support and creating shining buildings that the public feel, well, they're not for us and we're looking in from the outside. We've got to change the way we think about regeneration and we've got to put people at the heart of it. Westminster has never looked after the North, and in my view it isn't just miraculously going to change its ways and start doing it. We can't just do more of the same, because it's not worked. So let's do something different, and devolution is that chance to do something different. And what I want to do in Greater Manchester is show that if you build from the bottom up, if you trust people, if you do things differently, Manchester has always liked doing things differently, then I think we can build more change for the better from that way. So I'll give you one direct example. We've got, like many parts of the country, record numbers of people sleeping rough on our streets and huddled in our doorways. So I've said as Mayor, let's create a Mayor's Homelessness Fund. And I'm putting 15% of my salary into that fund on a monthly basis, because I want to show how committed I am to it. I want other people to contribute to it as well. They are. And what we're trying to do, working through our charities, is end rough sleeping in Greater Manchester by 2020. And if we achieve that, I think that will send a really positive message out about what's possible when people work together. And it isn't just about throwing taxpayers' money at the problem. Actually come at it a different way, work with your community and show that change is possible from the bottom up. Well, I would say to people in the property sector, they need to think more themselves about people and places before they come forward with their big plans. Because sometimes, you can see regeneration schemes that aren't designed with the interests of the communities where they're based at heart. Often they're sometimes about building commuter homes to bring people in who don't live there, or creating big shining office blocks that aren't for the people, jobs for the people who live there. And I think what I would ask the property sector is, put pride and heart back into our northern towns. Work with what matters to people first, and then people will come with you and they'll support your planning applications. And sometimes I think we've had an approach here that is too developer-led, where they decide where they want to build rather than the people say, look, that's where we think is the right place to build. So yeah, this is real change actually, but hopefully change for the better.